What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 12. So if you haven't seen Season 11, Episode 12 of Married to Medicine, turn this video off, go watch the episode, then come back and watch this review. Please like the review, subscribe to my channel. It's simple, it's free, it's anonymous. It takes less than 5 seconds of your precious time to do. So please like and subscribe to the channel. It's a big help. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words and say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. Be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show, and anything I say, it's my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Also, comment below what you would grade this week's episode, what you thought about it, your general opinions. If there's anything that I leave out or I forget or I'm off on, let me know in the comments. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. This episode didn't really give much. It gave very much like baddies type shit. Like they just all sat around and talked about the events from the night before. Like we didn't see it ourselves as viewers. So it's kind of like, this episode was kind of lackluster for me. I'm going to have to give it like a C plus, C minus. I might change my grade at the end of this. It might change. It might go up. It might go down as I talk about the episode. But right now, put it in between a C minus and a C plus. But last chance, if you haven't seen Married to Medicine Season 11, Episode 12, turn this video off so you don't get any spoilers. It's my car alarm going off. That's just great. Okay. So the episode begins where we left off last week's episode with this whole situation in Key West. They're still in Key West. And King and Greg are getting into it. Well, it's a whole bunch of people getting into it, but King tries to run up on Greg. I mean, I knew that nothing was going to happen. And not even just because it's Married to Medicine, but I just kind of had a feeling that it was just doing too much. King runs up on Greg. He takes his shirt off. He does all that extra business just to get close to Greg and not do nothing. Don't say Shaq was holding you back. You could have got around Shaq. Shaq wasn't even really holding you back, King, if you really wanted to do something. So, yeah, he runs up on Greg. He doesn't do anything. Who was surprised there? Not me. Quad's like, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby, baby, no. Sweet T come over there. You're not going to do nothing to my husband. And Quad's like, Sweet T, you go over there to your husband. So, Quad pulls King away. Cecil and Steve pull Greg away, trying to talk to him, calm him down, whatever the case may be. Mimi, Contessa, and Phaedra are over there praying over Sweet Tea. And Phaedra starts speaking in tongues. And everybody's like, Simone in the confessional like, I don't think God wanted Phaedra to speak in tongues. And then you hear Apollo make a comment talking about something. I've known that woman since 97. And I ain't never heard her talk in tongues before. I'm just like, oh, they're all coming for Phaedra. But I was just like, yeah, I feel like it was too much for her to be talking in tongues. So, in this moment, Sweet Tea and Greg decide to leave the trip. The group, they take different boats back to the resort. Phaedra, Shaq, Sweet Tea, and Greg, they're on one boat, and the rest of the couples are on another boat. Contessa and Heavenly, even though they're supposed to be beefing, they sitting there having a conversation about Sweet Tea. And I don't like how people make it seem like Sweet Tea, this episode, they made it seem like Sweet Tea was the one that was in the wrong. I don't think she was in the wrong. She asked a question that most people were probably thinking, like, Heavenly, why'd you invite Shireen and Apollo? And Heavenly was the one that gave the turned up answer. I don't got to answer you, little girl. Don't even talk to me. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Sweet Tea said the word bitch, but Heavenly, that's in Heavenly's vocabulary. If anybody could be called a bitch, it could be Heavenly. So I didn't like how everybody making it seem like Sweet Tea was the aggressor or the bad person in the situation. I didn't like that. So, the next morning, Heavenly and Simone, they sit down with Apollo and Shireen. Heavenly apologizes. She says that she didn't know that they knew Shaq. Well, she didn't know this check was coming, for that matter. Apollo says that where the problem lies is that Phaedra told him that Shek said he didn't know Apollo, and he feels like that's what made it okay for her to bring him on the trip. And then he's like, Shek hit me up last night talking about going to the strip club. Okay, who cares? They acting like Phaedra brought this man on the trip and said, this is my guy. We're in a committed relationship. We're going to take things to the next level. We're committed. We're blase. She literally came on the trip with this dude and said, we getting to know each other. We haven't even had sex yet. We just getting to know each other. That's why I brought him on this couples trip. They making it seem like it's such a big damn deal. And Apollo, like, I'm looking at you sideways. Like Phaedra said, like, why does it even matter to you? You got your wife sitting right here beside you, but you steady talking about your ex-wife. Like, make it make sense. So, Apollo says he reached out to Phaedra so they could have a conversation. Because you're wrong. You know you was wrong. You want to have a conversation for what? It says that Phaedra declined. I don't blame her. I mean, eventually y'all going to have to talk because y'all got kids, but in this moment, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Like, it was cornball behavior of Apollo and his ratchet ass wife. Take her ass back to VH1 or wherever the hell she came from. So then Apollo and Shireen tell Heavenly and Simone that they're going to be going to, heading to Miami to finish out the trip or whatever. So, Jackie comes to check on Phaedra to see Phaedra's packing. Phaedra tells Jackie that of all the people, she was most disappointed in Jackie. This is what Phaedra tells Jackie. She says, she says she feels like none of the girls. Well, first Jackie says, well, Heavenly told me that you knew Apollo was coming. And Phaedra doesn't even say anything, so that's how you know that she did know. They showed a clip of Heavenly telling Phaedra. Phaedra just makes a face like. But like Jackie said, like Heavenly said that you knew he was coming. So then Phaedra goes on to say, I don't feel like I had any support from any of you women. And I feel like you guys were mean girling me, blase. So she's like, so I'm just gonna get out of here because I don't do that type of mean girls. I don't be around them type of mean girls. So Jackie's like, well, why don't you stay and express that to the rest of the women? And Phaedra's like, no, my jet's waiting on me. So her and Shek, they hop on a private jet back to Atlanta. So the women, they on their way to a distillery. And, they in the cars talking about the events of the night before. Toya announces that Sweet Tea left, and Heavenly's like, good, she needed to leave. And I'm just like, so once again, we letting Heavenly get away with being the goddamn aggressor. Like, I don't like that. And don't get me wrong, I like Heavenly. She's good TV, but in that moment, I feel like they did Sweet Tea wrong. It's like they trying to ice her out. But last season, it was all about Sweet Tea because y'all was trying to make Quad mad. But now that Quad back in the fold, now it's... And let's not forget Quad and King are wrong a little bit too. I don't like how they siding with the motherfuckers that's kind of in the wrong. And letting the other motherfuckers go home and make them feel like they in the wrong. So when the ladies get to the distillery, of course, they're talking about yesterday's events. I'm not about to go all the way into that. The guys, they go cigar rolling. They go to, like, roll cigars, drink some drinks, whatever. They there talking about yesterday's events as well. Damon, it says in his confessional that he agrees with the way King handled things. Because he's like, why would you say that you said this to my wife and think I'm not going to react? And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, King chose the wrong time to want to confront Gregory. He should have confronted him in that moment if he still felt the way. Why did you wait until Greg's wife was getting into it with Heavenly and he had to try to calm her down to want to go over there and talk to him about it then? That still don't make sense for me. And now I'm looking at Damon. I've been looking at Damon sideways ever since he started beefing with Greg. I've been like, I don't know, Damon. So, Jackie, back at the distillery, Jackie tells the ladies Phaedra left. And she tells them what Phaedra said about her feeling like they're mean girls, and that she's done with the group. Like, basically saying, like, she's done with the show. So, now the couples are on their way to, like, I want to say it's like a dinner or some type of exercise. I don't know. But Contessa, Scott, and Mimi and Steve, they end up FaceTiming Sweet Tea and Greg. And Greg he's still turned up. He's still aggravated by the whole situation. Sweet Tea, of course, seems like she's level-headed and she's calm about the whole situation. So then we get this cringy-ass scene. Sweet Tea and Greg, they sit down, they're talking about what happened. Greg explains why he wanted to leave, and he's like, you know, if Shaq wasn't there, it would have been a fight to the death. If Shaq wasn't there, King probably would have just knocked your ass out, and that would have been the end of it. Sorry to say. I don't even think Greg is fully in the wrong, but talking about it would have been a fight to the death, no, nigga. So Sweet Tea's like, it wouldn't have been a fight to the death. She's like, you know, I'm combat trained from the military, blase, blase. It wouldn't have went like that. And Greg's like, they just basically have a disagreement. I don't even remember everything that was said, but Greg ends up walking away. Sweet Tea goes after him. And they go into this room where there's no cameras, but you can still hear the audio, of course. And Greg had a lot to say. He was saying shit like, Sweet Tea, your opinion don't make sense. You need to stop. You getting me riled up. Basically just saying a whole bunch of wild ass shit that make me look at him sideways. And I mean, I was always looking at him sideways, but it makes Quad's little defense seem a little more plausible when she used to say the things she would say about Greg when they was married. Talking about, I'm the leader of the pack, you're supposed to listen to this, whatever the case may be. It was just, he was just saying a whole bunch of shit. And I was just like, oh no, Sweet Tea, you needs to get out of there. But she not going to get out of there. I just couldn't believe he was saying the stuff he was saying. I was like, I ain't never heard. I mean, Greg has always been, I ain't really paid attention to Greg that much. But hearing him say the stuff he was saying to her, I was like, oh, wow. So we get this final scene. The couples that stayed in Key West, they do this listening exercise. Steve and Mimi pull out the bowl that they bought at the little Med Gala auction, and they got lemons in it, and like whoever holds the bowl of lemons is the people that can speak, and everybody else gotta wait. So Mimi starts and she holds the bowl. She says she feels like the exes on this trip haven't done the work, and that they should exit. So she basically saying like Greg and Sweet Tea did the right thing by leaving. And they just kept putting the camera on King and Quad. Because it's like, y'all in the wrong too. But nobody's saying it. That's what I didn't like. So, then Toya says, you know, Sweet Tea was wrong. And I'm still trying to figure out what she was wrong about. What was she wrong for doing? I don't think Sweet Tea was in the wrong at all. She says Sweet Tea was wrong. And she says Greg was wrong in some ways, yes. She says, but we gotta own up to our shit. That's the reason why Phaedra called us mean girls. She said, we do some fucked up shit. And it's like, yeah, I appreciate Toya for saying that, but at the same time, say a name. Call it out. Don't just say, we do this, we do that. No. Call it out. Like, Quad and King were wrong in some situations. Heavenly was wrong in some situations. So, and then Heavenly's like, thank you, Toya, because you always say the real shit. And I'm just like, no, because she should have called your ass out, too. So then Heavenly says, you know, I should have, she tells Quad, I didn't consider your feelings last season when I brought Sweet Tea into the group, and I apologize for that. And it's like, okay, we get that. King does then agree that both parties have not done the work, basically saying Quad and Greg haven't done the work. As we can see, they still can't be around each other or each other's significant others or whatever the case may be. Eugene, you know, he chimes in, tries to be the, what's the word? Tries to be the, I want to say the leader. I mean, not the leader, level-headed one, but it's something else. Tries to be the person that's the neutral party or whatever. And he's like, you know, we need to consider Greg's feelings because he is a part of the group. And I was glad Eugene said that, because it's just like, Quad made a comment. I don't remember if it was last episode, the episode before last, or something like that. And I can't even remember who she was talking to, but she was like, these are my group of friends, blase, blase. But it's like, no, they're Greg's group of friends too. And some of them have known Greg before they knew you. So I was glad Eugene brought that up, because like, this is Greg's friend group too. And I don't agree with everything that Greg does, but it's just like, making him feel like he's the sole bad person in the situation is not cool. So Curtis chimes in. He's like, so how do we reach out to Sweet Tea, Greg, Phaedra, let them know that they're still part of the group? This is when Contessa shares that they had just FaceTimed Greg, and that he was still livid about the whole situation. And they was like, you see, King, how you're so calm right now? It was just like, why? That's because y'all ain't holding his ass accountable. Hold his ass accountable like y'all trying to do Greg, and see if he don't turn up probably. So Contessa and Steve both agree that maybe sometimes removing yourself is the best thing to do. So they're like, Greg, Sweet Tea, Phaedra, them removing themselves was probably for the best, and they just need some time or whatever the case may be. And that's just how the episode ends. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a C minus, because nobody was really taking accountability. Nobody called out the people that had something to do with it. I just didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. And I'm not saying that Greg was fully right. Greg was in the wrong too. But it's just like, if y'all gonna keep saying how Greg was wrong, and I still don't understand how Sweet Tea was wrong, but if y'all gonna keep saying how Greg was wrong or whatever, y'all need to call out Quad and King and Heavenly too, because they was wrong in situations too. So I didn't appreciate that. Especially to hear Contessa say that Sweet Tea was doing a lot. I don't remember what she said, but I was just like, and to be saying that to Heavenly, I was just like, I didn't like that. But that's how the episode ends. Like I said, I would give it a C minus. Ooh, excuse me. I would give it a C minus. I can't even remember what they showed us in the preview for next week. Oh, I guess Sweet Tea said something about choosing. I don't know, but we shall see. But those are my thoughts or whatever for this week's episode. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode. Your opinion, your general opinions. If there was anything I left out or I was off on or I forgot, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you stay here for 18 minutes and watch this review, then you can hit the like button and subscribe button. It takes less than 5 seconds of your time. If you like things Married to Medicine related, then hitting the like button and subscribe button helps your algorithm bring up more Married to Medicine related things. It's free. It's anonymous. It's the best way to support my channel. I don't know how else to let you know that it's the best way to support my channel. So just like and subscribe, please. Comment below. Thanks for watching this review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.